Well, hello there everybody, good evening and welcome to this evening's match. This is one of the last two matches of CWT. It is the bronze final match between Mablak and Abegod. So this match will decide who gets third place and fourth place to see who gets the third place bronze medal as well as the third place prize, and cement themselves as the third place victor of CWT this year. So we're just waiting on the players arriving. They are both usually good with time, so yeah, we just need to wait a few minutes for these guys to show up. Meanwhile, while we're waiting, I will take us through the playoffs so far. So if we look here, Abegod won the first round against Chicken 2-3, 3-0. Managed to beat Rays 3-2. Unfortunately lost versus Tade in the semi-final. Mablak beat Master 3-1 in the first round. Beat Solanio 3-1 in the quarter-final. And lost to Rafka 3-2 in the semi-final. Right, so Mablak has arrived. We are just waiting for Abegod now. So these matches are a little bit different. It is best of 7 in the final matches, both the bronze final and the grand final. What that means is usually when it's best of 5, the players start on cavern maps. However, with best of 7, they start on island maps. So let's just check Discord, etc., see if we can see Abegod around. I don't know if Abegod is even... Ah, there we go. No need, the panic is over. Right, let's get these guys... Oops, I forgot to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a horrible terrain. What's this one called? This one is called... What is this one called? Can't remember what this one's called. we'll do another. Right, looks like I think both of them are happy with this map, so we can get this show on the way. Right, I am on the right resolution, haven't I? Yeah, we're fine. Right. Right, so here we go. Best of luck to both players. Mablak gets the first turn. Right, I see opportunities for both players, but there's a lot of potentially piled worms here. Which doesn't look the best for Abegod. Oh crap. I forgot to activate the spectator mode, but that's fine, we can just do it on the next map. For the time being, I can remove this sensor though, as it's useless. Right, activates a low gravity here as well. And a rope. This is a lot of utilities from Dr. Abegod here. I'm guessing maybe Mablak will try and do a soft knock on Clumbin down to Damien. Mablak does have a few vulnerable worms as well. Gunk's quite vulnerable to get easily hit out. Yargentin, because there's not a lot of land there, is a potential plop. Sometimes in the island maps like this, you've just got to realise that, yeah, I have a few worms vulnerable, but so do they, and stay ahead of the pace. Hello, Morgan. Welcome, welcome. Should be a great set of matches tonight. It's a best of 7 as well, so lots of action. It's going to be a dynamite? Oh no, baseball bat. He's already used his dynamite. This is where I would potentially imagine that Abegod can knock Shark into the corner here and then use double cows. Ah, he's messed up the rope knock. And after CWT will be Abegod, Mablak and Chaos League. Ah. Well, as in tonight, immediately after this match. That's pretty interesting. So Abegod looks like he's going to try and get a plop here. He gets a pile, no plop. It was really high, so the chances of that were very, well, non-existent, to be honest. Shame he couldn't get that knock, because if he got that knock, it could have been a double kill. That's the importance of good rope knocking skills. Anyway, we'll do a 5-minute prediction. Who do you think will win? Mablak, Abegod, or do you think it'll be a draw? Got 5 minutes. It looked like Mablak was trying to push the worm onto the mine there. Yes, sir. Unfortunately, didn't quite get the angle. Right, so now Abegod's trying to slow down the pace of the game. He's going for a block instead of continuing to be aggressive. Yes, sir. Still quite a struggle. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 worms on Mablak's side versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Abegod. Right, so Mablak's keeping it nice and simple, just going for an axe, a block. Hop. Oh no! Ow! Hmm. I'm dead meat! Reinforcements have arrived! I mean, I don't like that idea from Abegod, because Mablak can just use a select worm for this worm and get a double kill with cows pretty easily. It was a simple turn, but he's now gave Mablak the opportunity for a double kill with cows. Not what I thought he would have done, to be honest. Not horrible, but a minor mistake there from Mablak. Though it still keeps him quite ahead on pace, which is fine. I feel like he wanted to do that so that his worm had better position, but not really sure why, considering he had plenty of ropes anyway. Yeah, pretty straightforward round here so far. Nothing fancy, nothing spectacular, just get the job done. A nice warm-up match for, or sorry, a warm-up round for both players, if you will.
Yes, sir. You'll regret that. Hop. Hop. Ow! Just wait, Buster. I'm dead meat.
Yes.
Reinforcements have arrived.
It is a lot of shotgun. Like, when you're ahead on pace, or there's nothing really else you can do, like you don't have any really big opportunities, shotgun's the ideal thing to do, to be honest. Well, it definitely won't be 3-0 because it's a best of 7. So the players need 4 victories to win. It could be 4-0. Oops. But not 3-0. I mean, it could be 3-0 for a moment. What I mean to say is it won't end 3-0. This is interesting. Very nice from Dr. Abegod there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, the grand final is also best of 7. It was Mablak and Rafka, not Rays. That was Abegod who played Rays. To be honest, it wasn't actually the best time for Rafka either. It was better for Rafka, I think, but that's early even for Rafka. 6 AM. That was a really nice turn by Abegod. that block actually turned out being potentially useful for Abegod.
Whoops. Yes, sir. Hop.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Mablak versus Ray's final match anyway, because Abegod beat Ray's in the quarter-final.
I'm dead meat. Yes, sir.
It could have potentially been Mablak versus Ray's in the grand final had they both won all their previous matches, but yeah, it didn't go that way. Not today.
Ow. You had it coming.
Something like that, but
Yes, sir.
that's to be expected when pretty much the vast majority of players have to play within that time zone.
Hang in. Eat that man.
So yeah, Abegod here is doing everything he can to get piles and damage. That's a good napalm strike, should be a kill.
You'll regret that. See ya. Yes, sir.
But yeah, Rays, it was something like 3 AM for Rays, but also like 1 AM or something for Abegod. And it was like midnight or something for me. So it was late for everybody, to be honest. Abegod's done really well to hang in there in this match, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Mablak still has a select worm left. If he didn't have a select worm left, that could potentially be a mistake for Mablak. Well, no, because his other worm has, well, 99 HP.
Yes, sir.
If that worm was low enough in HP, it could have been a draw opportunity. Not a lot Abegod can do now because Mablak does still have a worm select, so even if he blocks a worm...
I'll get you.
23 exactly.
Hop. Fado.
Well,
Hell.
good first round though. I mean, Abegod... He might have lost a round, but he had the more impressive turns, I think. He had some very creative, nice turns here. So that'll be 1-0 for Mablak.
You had it coming. Ja, fertig. We are the winners.
No, that's a bit Uh-huh. Okay. Drugs are bad. Okay. Drugs are bad. Okay. Right, so they're both fine with that. Hopefully he does get the first turn here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect. And we're off. No delays, that's perfect. It's nice when everything works out nicely. Nah, I don't watch South Park anymore. I think it's... I just think it's really bad after, like, season 21, 22. I personally wish that they would make some episodes the same way they did in the first sort of 7, 8 seasons. South Park is like one of my most favourite things in life ever, but I just don't like what they've been doing in the last sort of 5 to 10 years.
Hop, fat bro.
Oh, nice. That's a good first... Oh, really, really bad hide from Abegod though, but... But yeah, what I liked about South Park before is I liked how you could watch the first sort of 13 seasons pretty much. Any episode in any order from any season and it would still make full sense. Now, they've got... You need to watch entire seasons in the order that they are. They're all like... story, it's like a proper story that goes over seasons and seasons. I'm not too much a fan of that, to be honest. It just seemed more chill, relaxed, fun, educational when I was a kid watching it. Right, Mablak gets that plot there. Now, did I see correctly? So he didn't use that, and he didn't use a rope, that's fine. Yeah, that's the term, serialised. They've done a lot of that. I mean, I watched up to like season 23 and it was all like that with like the characters. I just didn't like it at all. There was a couple of episodes that were okay, but yeah, I'm just... It's not just that, I just like the way it was done originally. The actual ideas they had. And to be honest, this happens with everything in entertainment. You get a really, really good idea for something, but it gets stale and it has to get more and more excessive and exaggerated characters of themselves, you know, in order to stay fun. So I just prefer watching the first half of South Park every couple of years. Yeah, I thought he used low gravity there. Well, I haven't watched season 25, but I highly doubt that it's classic South Park. They've maybe tried to replicate it, but yeah, you can't beat actual classic South Park. He almost got those cows perfect as well. Pretty sure he used a select one there as well. No, he didn't. 2 ropes, that's 1 rope. Yeah, I mean, if you mean the classic format, yeah. Probably. But the way that they make it, the way they do the voices and the ideas, the way that they write the scripts in general, it'll never ever be classic ever again.
Hop. 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 Hop.
But at least they're going back with the old format. I might give it a chance. I don't really expect much, to be honest, though. Yeah. I like American Dad. I love American Dad. Like, Family Guy and American Dad, I haven't watched those for so long. I can't even remember what season I got up to. I know I've seen like 14 or 15 seasons of Family Guy, and I think maybe 8 or 9 seasons of American Dad. Right, so that's a jetpack and skunk, and is he going to get free worms here? Is that skunk going to turn in time? No, it's not. At least he got a double skunk. If he had got a triple skunk there, that would have been very good for him there. Yeah, I mean, for me, this is across the board. In general, the way that they actually record, produce, and make anything these days is never ever going to be as good as it was in like the 90s, the 80s. It's just not the same. Character development isn't as good. They always just want to get straight into the action. There's no suspense building up, and obviously this doesn't apply to everything, but most of the things I would be interested in watching. Like, I really like Hollywood blockbusters, but not nowadays. Like, back in the days of, like, Alien and Terminator and 2001 and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
Right, pretty sure that was a... One side. Just making sure I'm up to date with the player's inventory right now. Yep, that's all good. As much as I like talking about anything and everything, I need to try and focus on this match as much as possible. Is he gonna get grave damage here? Almost. Yeah, Corey Dex, unfortunately nobody else seems to be interested in commentating these days. Perhaps Mablak himself will come and commentate for the grand final. He hasn't been available in all the other matches because there've been at times where he's normally in bed or he's out working. And for the past sort of 2 weeks or so, he's been busy doing stuff in his own life, so he hasn't been able to join. But I'm hoping Mablak can join for the grand final. There was someone who said they were going to join me tonight, but then they later cancelled, so... That's a very nice pile. Unfortunately, that worm has its turn, so it's not so good. It means Mablak can get a kill there without needing to rope knock. But he might not want to do this because Elvis is going to be easily pushable, so he might perhaps need to move this worm and use a worm select for Elvis. Wouldn't surprise me to see him use Elvis, throw something down there, and then hide here. I mean, I do like some new shows, just not anywhere near as much as the way they used to be done. Like, and talking about why is actually quite a really in-depth conversation to have that there's just too much to say during a match like this. Yeah, I was correct there. I think the newest show that I actually enjoyed is Resident Alien. I think he was hoping for a kill there. Right. Yeah, Mablak seems to be pushing ahead on pace here as well. Especially thanks to those skunks that he got earlier on in the match, the round. I mean, this should be a straightforward... This could... Now, this could be a double kill here with cows. Ah, he's missed. I mean, at least he did get a kill, but he unfortunately missed the second cow. If he had got that other cow, that would have been fantastic for him. Mablak could be in trouble here because all he has for mobility is one rope. He has no other... Well, he has bungee rope as well and parachute, but... He's used low gravity, he's used jetpack, and he's used 4 of his ropes. So he is going to struggle a bit here. Right, I will do another prediction. We'll do a 2-minute prediction. Who do you think will win this round? Mablak, Abegod, or do you think it'll be a draw? Actually, Abegod seems to be in the lead here, especially with that last turn and the fact that Mablak's struggling with mobility here. I would still say it's quite 50-50, but I feel like Abegod has better mobility right now. I think he's trying to find a way to place this girder that also makes a path. It's like he wants to place this girder so it protects Eagerman and it creates a path upwards. Yeah, that extra kill could have won the game. I mean, I feel like Abegod can still win the round because Mablak only has one rope left. If he uses that rope now, then all these other worms are pretty much screwed. So I feel like Abegod does still have an advantage solely because Mablak only has one rope left. So Mablak may have to depend on other skills such as B and G or make a play for sudden death. So we really do just have like a, what looks like a fort match developing here right now.
Yes, sir. Hop.
Yeah, I feel like Abegod should win this one. Tudor fort. I mean, just to wrap up that conversation about not particularly enjoying modern films and stuff, a few of the most obvious reasons are everything is too clean. The actors are all like models. It just does not feel... I don't feel any like proper immersion like I used to. They always cut right to the action. It's always about looking cool, looking popular, than proper character development and having human flaws and being normal and stuff like that. At least in the kind of films that I enjoy. Obviously, if you watch like independent films, those are still pretty good. But for all intents and purposes, in my opinion, Hollywood films and mainstream films have just went down the toilet. It's like they make them... I actually watched a little clip of... I can't remember who it was, but it was some director talking about... They try and make films these days and a lot of TV series to be background, like so people can still listen to them in the background while they're doing the ironing or the house chores or sitting scrolling on their phone, and they can still understand what's going through. So it's like the whole thing is literally just talking you through exactly what's happening instead of having to actually sit down and pay full attention to a film in order to understand what it is. Basically, I just feel like they've completely and utterly dumbed down modern entertainment. It used to be a lot more oh my god. Wow, that's something you don't see every day.
Yes, sir.
That is likely going to cost Mablak the game, no doubt. Wow. Well, as an ex-Worms Armageddon console player, what advice would you give for someone new to playing on Steam Online? What kind of advice are you looking for? Like, the advice I would give is like everything. Anything you want to know, I can probably tell you, or I can find someone that can tell you. So it's like, where to begin? First of all, I would learn about hosting, because that's a very, very important... Hold on, let me just make sure I'm doing this right. Right. I'll give you some links here. Hold on. I really hate what they've done to Worms 2D with that stupid bot checker thing, but I understand why they've done it. Right, so
Yes, sir.
here is something that's very important. So that's basically the Worms Encyclopedia. You can go in there and you can browse at your own free will, but two important things I would like to say to you to look is that, and where's the guide? So these are two things I would say are important to learn if you want to like understand how to make maps and learn how to host matches fine. I would visit that link. As for advice in general, oh, actually, yeah, there's also one more that's quite. Where was it? There's a.
Dum track orm.
Det var
Yes, sir.
I know what I'm looking for. I just can't remember how to actually find it.
Geronimo.
Yeah, I'll just give you this in general. That page as well, that'll explain a lot of how things work. There's a page that one of the pages actually talks about certain button commands, like how to control the game in general, and that's quite useful information.
Just wait, Buster. See ya. Fadpo. Ow!
Why did he shoot himself?
Are you nuts?
Why didn't he take a step back there? I swear a lot of players don't understand gun safety. They wouldn't make a very good American. You never see Mablak doing that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Abegod does have another worm select, but Mablak's going to nip that in the bud. So that could potentially be problematic for...
Yes, sir.
If I was Abegod, I would still use my select worm right now.
Hop.
If he kills Penguin, then Shark Attack can just do an axe on that worm, and now that worm has less than 85 health. Then again, we are actually about to go into sudden death, and I forgot to put the sensor on, so the sensor is on now. Apologies for that.
Just wait, Buster. See ya.
Bommert.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hold on a minute. This could be a kill. If he gets a good he could go for a rope knock here and knock that worm right in there and get a kill.
Oof, oof, oof.
Ah, he doesn't get it.
You are mean.
Maybe now, maybe now, probably Abegod should use the... Yeah, Abegod should use the worm select now.
Yes, sir.
Should he? Knowing that it's Corn Toad Joe next, and he can get all the way over in the next turn. So I would probably think the best thing for Abegod probably would be a worm select here, because if he teleports over here, for example, then he can use a rope to get up here, jump up, and then kill both with a shotgun. But if he uses a worm select and kills that worm, then at least this worm and that worm are spread out. But it's quite difficult for Abegod, I think.
Hop. Oops.
If you have any questions, though, Charles, I'm not too sure how you want to pronounce that. We have the Discord for CWA there, and from that Discord you can join a lot of other Discords, like Sensei's server, Goomba's server. So from there you can join a lot of there. There's also links to other websites. It's I like to think of the CW server as like a train station, like a central train station or airport, where from there you can get all around the world, if that makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Abegod could win this if he was quick, I think. But he's already wasted 10 seconds, so... Yeah. I mean, it is possible to jump from here to here, so I have no idea why he didn't immediately select that worm, get up here, shotgun that worm, make his way over and shotgun that worm. I don't understand why...
Yes, sir.
Now Mablak can... Oh no, wait, does Mablak have a rope? Or he has already used... No, he can win here. It'd be difficult for Mablak, but possible. Oh, you would have to be very, very... actually, I'm not too sure about from Mablak, because the way we'd have to get big stock first is quite challenging.
Chew on this.
I mean, that should be GG now. If he killed Damien, then he would lose anyway. This should be GG though, pretty easy. I mean, Mablak still had a rope. I reckon he could have got over here within maybe 20 seconds. And then there was a chance he could have stood up here somewhere and got the angle to take a shot. So, yeah, but at least it's not a... Oops, I just accidentally opened a program. Yeah, 1-1. So now we will be moving over to Taverns. Right, so now we're going on to Caverns. The score is 1-1, so we've actually got an exciting match on our hands here. That's better. I mean, it's not necessarily all modern films. I'm talking specifically about mainstream films. You know, because the truth is, hold on. Let me get this started first. Like, I like my favourite kind of films are like the Hollywood made space sci-fi films and disaster films. Those are like my personal favourites, and action films as well. And those films specifically, they just don't do them the way that they used to do. So that's kind of more specifically what I'm talking about. Independent films, however, if you're interested in independent films, those are usually always good quality. Well, not always good quality, but they don't... This is why I said it takes a while to explain. There's so much to talk about. But anyway.
Ring, ow! The first of many! Yes, sir!
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like the Hollywood films, like I wouldn't really say that they were always mainstream. Oh wow, that was weird. Now he's definitely going to have to use a... That was weird. That was a weird turn from Abegod there.
Oops. Reinforcements have arrived!
Yeah, it's just they used to put a lot of more... I just feel like films used to be more articulate, used to be more intellectual. You used to actually have to pay attention to understand them for the most part. I mean, you do still get some films that... Like, I'm looking forward to Project Hail Mary. They don't make enough space films now, in my opinion. And if they do, the casting's always crap these days. In my opinion.
1, 2. Rats! Ja, nu kommer der våben! Buster! Reinforcements have arrived! Come on! Get on with it! Technique! Dum træk, orm.
Jeg er færdig.
Ja, nu kommer der våben!
These positions are a bit weird, like... I feel like this isn't going to be the most interesting... Yeah, I feel like this isn't going to be the most interesting round due to the positions, but we'll see.
Ring 1, 2.
You had it coming!
But one of my biggest problems with modern film and TV is the casting in general.
Jeg skal komme efter dig. Yes, sir.
The positions in this map are odd. They've both got so many worms that are just cut off. It's who's going to invade first?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the question. And he'll probably want to deal with Damien Farlig as soon as possible. But he'll also want to use Penguin. to do as much damage as possible.
Dumm Dreck, Ohr.
Yeah.
Yes, gekommen.
I mean, to be honest, I feel like that does still apply if you find the right games. But for the most part, the modern games are sort of, well, brain dead in my opinion. Like, first-person shooters, specifically, those are like brain dead ass games to me. They're like, first-person shooters are like the easiest kind of game you can play. I don't know what Metroidvanias are. Never heard of that. It's sort of like there's a lot of things that you can appreciate as being niche. And like I loved being a nerd back in like the 90s because it was more kind of how can I explain this? Let me think for a moment. Sort of like, I knew that if I found someone else who liked video games, or let's just say I'm talking about a video game in public, and then someone else starts talking, say, oh, I like video games, I know for an unequivocal fact that they are probably a nerd as well. It's like, I hear a lot of people say now, oh, I love games, or I'm an, and it's like, they're not really. They like casual things, or not really hardcore sort of nerd. It's kind of like gaming has become so popular that the popular kids all like gaming, and it sort of ruined the vibe, in my opinion. It's became so popular that it's mostly to do with making money and people cheating because they want to be on top, and it's just like when something gets popular, it always becomes less. It has less depth, it has less value, in my opinion, if that makes sense, you know? There are more and more people competing, which means more and more people will do anything to get an advantage over each other, you know? It's like, it's hard concentrating on the game and trying to articulate my thoughts at the same time. But I could write about it and talk about it for hours. It's like, for me, I love Worms Armageddon, and I would like it to be a little bit more popular, but I would absolutely hate if it became mainstream, like Fortnite or some crap like that. It would absolutely ruin it, and I wouldn't want to be part of it anymore. I hate money. I never want to be rich. I never want to be famous, because to me that just ruins your life, in my opinion. It gives you less options in life. The richer and more famous you come, the more people are fake to you. The more people want to try and use you to get things that they want. And because I understand a lot of psychological stuff, I understand when people are trying to manipulate me, use me, I would just get so fucking exhausted. Like, paying attention to who's trying to, like, who's genuine and not, it would just I can't be bothered with it. I like spending money as soon as I get it. I like being as poor as I possibly can, but still living within my means.
Yes, sir.
Life's just more genuine for me that way. Every time I've ever had, like, when I was young, when I was about 17 years old, I had 3 jobs, and I made a hell of a lot of money at that point in my life. And I had a huge circle of friends. I was quite popular. And looking back on that, like, in hindsight, I realise all the people that weren't genuine to me, they just wanted to be part of the hype. They wanted to be part of the buzz. They liked me because I was super generous. Like, I would have parties, I would pay for all the drink, I would pay for all the food, I would pay for this and that, and everybody just wanted to be a freeloader off me. And if you're really rich, if you're extremely rich, there's even a chance that someone might kill you for your money. So it's like, fuck that. I'd rather just live a niche sort of life. I'm happy like that. Yeah, I would love if Worms Armageddon had like a couple of thousand more active players, yeah. But it's like they say, moderation is the key. Like, everything you do in life, if you can moderate it, it's fine. But too much of something, nah. Too little of something, nah. And that too much or too little can be different for everybody. But too many players would ruin the charm. You know, if it became too popular and it was taken over by huge companies investing lots of money, they would take over and it would take away the attention from all the players that have spent the last 2 to 3 decades making the game as special as it is. And to me, that's a bad thing. However, maybe to have like 1,000 active players, that would be absolutely amazing. And I feel like that's definitely a possibility. Even just to have the same level of activity as we did back in like 2008 to 2013. Those sort of 4 or 5 years was like in my opinion, there's been like 2 golden eras of Worms, and that was the first 4 years of the game, like 1999 up to 2004. That was like the proper golden era of Worms Armageddon. And then in my opinion, like 2008 to 2013, that was like the second golden era of Worms. And then since then, it's the game itself has been getting better, but unfortunately, we've been losing more and more players every year. But that's life, you know. The problem is, you can expect people not to do the same thing their whole life, unless it's like genuinely a hobby that they want to enjoy the rest of their life. Like for me, Worms Armageddon's one of the most important parts of my life. It shaped me and defined me as a person. I wouldn't be who I am without this game. I wouldn't be as smart as I am. I wouldn't be as educated as I am. I wouldn't be as skilled as I am. Probably wouldn't be as happy as I am without this game and the people who have been a part of this game over the years. But I completely lost focus and don't know what the hell I'm talking about now. That happens sometimes. You forgot what the whole point of what you were saying was, because I saw him drop that mine, and I'm thinking, what's his plan with the mine? And because I started thinking about what he was doing, I was like, yeah, I've completely forgot what I was talking about. It happens. As much as I love having conversation about things like that, I do have to pay attention to the game.
Yes, sir.
And on that note, I'm just going to check that I've got all the weapons and stuff right. So 2, 5. He hasn't used a single rope yet. He's got 2. He just used a teleport. Mablak's got 2 ropes that. He's used one. Always worm selects. He's used 1. Yeah, I pretty much have been on the ball. Everything's. They haven't really used a lot in general because they haven't really had the potential to use much, if I'm honest.
Yes, sir.
I like shmups. Right, we're finally going to see Abegod actually use a rope here.
Oof.
Oh, he got the glitch there. That's very unlucky. Wait, shmup is a type. What? I thought shmup was just your name. Let me. Ah, a shoot 'em up. Ah. Never heard them called shmup like that before. See, I know what you're talking about, I've just never heard that terminology before.
Yes, sir.
It's actually quite interesting when you think about terminology. I was having this conversation with my girlfriend the other day, and it's like, there is so much information that humanity knows without knowing how to explain to other people in a way that they understand it. And that's why we need to have a shared terminology that we can both understand from different points of reference in order to understand the same thing. It's incredible. Because I've always tried to say to a lot of people, like, a lot of my intellect comes from understanding how things work and understanding and remembering about a lot about physics and that. But terminology is something that I can struggle with because the terminology isn't as important to me as just actually understanding how to do things and how things work. And that's the challenge that a lot of people have is, how do I explain what I know to this person so that they can understand what I know and actually understand it in the same way? That's the difficult part.
Oof. Traitor. Get on with it. Whoops. Yes, sir.
There was a... So one of the old school Worms Armageddon players who some people might remember is a player called Mental. M3NTAL. And he's one of my close friends in real life. We visit each other from time to time. I usually go down to visit him. And I remember I went down to Leeds to visit him some years ago before COVID. And there was a arcade that we went to visit. Has that just happened again? Wow! Oh my god, that is so unlucky for Abegod. Twice in a row his rope knock has failed. However, that's a skill that he is going to have to improve. Because those are things that he could avoid if he understood rope knocking a little bit better. I'm trying to remember what the name of the shoot 'em up was. Is it Darius or something? We saw it was absolutely gorgeous. It was this huge arcade cabinet, and it looked like 2 or 3 screens put together. Like it was a really long screen, and multiple players would sit on the bench and play this game, and it was so cool. Coolest shoot 'em up I've ever seen in my life. Darius, yeah, I think that's what it was called.
Oops.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mental has actually been in the Team 17 OG office, and I remember he made a joke that the Worms Armageddons, he walked past a room, and the guy was like, yeah, the Worms Armageddon server's in that room. Like, just a dark, dim room, like, you could go in, it's like, it was just fun, comical the way he explained it. It's like, you open this door, and it's like a room just dark, dull, like scary, like you can hear water dropping in the corner, like creaking sounds, and just there's a computer sitting in the corner with cobwebs and stuff, and that's the Worms Armageddon server. Not really, but it was just funny. But yeah, Mental was official moderator for Worms Armageddon Wormnet. I don't know about official, but yeah, official as in he was a moderator for the actual Wormnet channel for Anything Goes and stuff. I'm not too sure if that was just via dead code or if Team 17 knew about that or whatever, but yeah. I can't remember why he even went to the Team 17 headquarters now. Anyway, sudden death. So this is a weird one because Mablak still has 8 worms. Abegod has 4. I think Abegod should really just be trying to play for a draw right now.
Yes, sir.
Have I recorded that correctly, actually? Got 1. Got none. Yeah, I have. That's right.
Ring 112.
Dum træk orm.
Det var hyggeligt.
Yes, sir.
So, shmup. Is that... what the hell? Ah, nice. A massive raid for the bronze final. Welcome. Thanks for the raid there. And if you all like Worms Armageddon, you're in for a treat because you're watching one of the best players of all time compete in the bronze final here. Oh, unfortunately, Abegod's just done another rope knock that didn't go to plan. And with that mistake, I kind of feel like Mablak's going to win in this turn now. Well, thanks to this massive raid, we've officially beat the previous record for amount of people who have been here for a CWT match. But for those of you just joining, welcome. This is an event that takes part once every year called Crespo's Worms Tournament, which features some of the best intermediate players in the world. Unfortunately, we're coming to an end of the event as we're in the bronze final right now, and the grand final will be taking place over the next couple of weeks. We're just waiting on the players organising that match, but yeah, very, very interesting if you're a fan of the series. World's best intermediate players, yes, yes. And you're just in time for a new round, which is about to begin, as the score is now 2-1 to Mablak. Oh, I didn't do a prediction for that round. My bad, my bad. Right, let's get another map for these guys. So if you're just joining us, the bronze final here is a best of 7 format match. So the players must win 4 rounds in order to get the victory. And we do have a special little prize for the player who wins this evening, as I have personally donated some prizes to the top 3 players this year. I just need to find a good map for these guys. Whoa. That is a very, very tight map. Nah, that's too... Not enough land there. I'll need to pick another one. Right, come on, I need to get another good map here. That's too open. That's too open. Yeah, okay, okay. Ah, they're not allowed to use PNG in intermediate. Right. Should get a Hab shirt for the winner. Well, you'll need to send me details about that. So, Pollen Pelevidiot, is that correct? So, were you just streaming Worms Armageddon? I'm guessing based on your emojis, you're a Worms Armageddon player, so I'll need to find out more about that. Upper left needs more objects. Right, so... Right, I need to get a new map for these guys, or... Yeah, that should be fine. Feel free to advertise yourself in the stream on the channel if you want to link to... As long as it's related to Worms Armageddon, feel free to advertise whatever you want. Right, we're just going to take a very, very, very quick break because we've been at it for about 90 minutes already, so just need a quick bathroom break. So we'll be back in less than a minute. Right. Ready in there. Yes, this is best of 7, Udose.
Yes.
Right, let's just get everything sorted out here. So, Abegod has the first turn. Looking at the positions, here's a really big starting opportunity, even if he can get that worm. See, I probably would have used a worm select and done a rope nog with Eager Man down there, and he could have had 4 worms piled there. Let's have a look at this shirt. What does HAB mean? What does HAAB mean? I like the design though.
Just wait, Buster. Yes, sir.
Yes, Worms Armageddon is incredible, so the more you stream it, the better. We all love Worms Armageddon here. Big opportunity for Mablak here as well.
Dum track Orm.
Need to make sure that I've got that correct. 1 rope, so Mablak has used 3 ropes so far.
Ring 112.
Probably worth it though for him. And a bungee. That is a huge amount of ropes for Mablak to use in the first turn, but he clearly had a good reason for doing it, so he could get a triple kill there on the first turn. So he is going to have to be very, very careful with his mobility in the future. But I can sort of understand it because a lot of his worms do have the high ground already. But yeah, Abegod can definitely get a good return here. If he can knock Gunk all the way down here. Is he not going for Gunk? I really, really thought he would have knocked Gunk down as well, because that's a really easy knock. Oh no. Ah, that's a huge mistake from Abegod. Wow. Oh, wow. That is not good at all for Abegod. He had a massive opportunity there, and that is one of the worst possible outcomes that could have happened for him. Oof. Yeah, this should really be a pretty easy victory for Mablak now. Mablak's mechanics are almost second to none. Yeah, this is going to be... This is a next to impossible quest for Abegod to get back in the game now. However, on the one hand, he does have the chance to kill a lot of worms here. He can get 2 free kills if he uses 2 ropes and 2 parachutes. He could knock those worms down into the water. And then he could potentially kill this worm or that worm. So it does have potential, but it doesn't look like he's thinking quickly enough. And he's going to surrender. Right. Well, okay. Not too sure why he gave up there, but okay, right. So we're going to go back into island maps now. My personal favourite. Just need to find a good map for these guys. Ooh. The right side of the map doesn't look all that great. To Finn at the bottom. Now that looks better. So yeah, it's Mablak to start in this one now. It seems like they both like that, so we'll put that back. Right, excellent. Right, so Mablak will get the first turn in this round. Right, having a look at the positions here. 2 worms pileable there, 2 worms pileable there. That worm's easy to kill, there's a double pile there. This worm with that barrel could get a lot of damage, and a knock for those 2 worms down here is possible as well. Both players have options here. Let's see how much impact Mablak can have on his first turn then. As you can see on his first turn, he's moving this worm over here so that there's not a double pile opportunity. So he's using one of his select worms to save a worm, and then select another worm to do some damage. So 2 worm selects and a baseball bat, as well as low gravity, I think. I just need to check that quickly. Yep, so 2 worm selects, baseball bat, and low gravity. So Abegod really needs to win this round to stay in it. He didn't even use any worm selects or anything there. So he's keeping the pace with a lot less used at the moment. Clumbin is an easy kill here, so I reckon we're going to see Clumbin get killed. Or it could be Damian Marley with the mine. Yeah, so he's going to place a mine hat. And he's going to place it pixel perfect to get over the barrel here. Or he's going to attempt to. Should be a walk in the park for Mablak. Does the game mode... What scheme were they using on Polly's stream? Oh, he missed a knock again. That in this set of matches today, Abegod's weakest skill by far has been rope knocking. He really needs to improve his rope knocking, because it has been really subpar today for Abegod. If he had got that knock there, he could have got a kill, but he only done 50 HP, which puts him further behind in pace here. Custom one like intermediate, but played in party time. Right. Yeah, you really want rope knock activated. It adds so much more skill and depth to the game. Right, that's Mablak's last worm select. Not that that should be a problem. Is that grave damage going to kill the other worm? That's the question here. Nope. Still, good turn. Yeah, I cannot imagine any strategic scheme without rope knocking. But then again, there is elite, and rope knocking is not available in elite. And elite is my favourite strategic scheme. Funnily enough, I have always thought that they should add rope knocking to elite. Personally speaking, but not everyone would agree with that. I don't know if rope knocking is enabled in Mole Shopper, actually. I'm not too familiar with the Mole Shopper scheme.
Yes, sir.
Every match is for 6 players with 3 worms. Yeah, more of a casual fun scheme, yeah. Is it like a free-for-all then? Do they have any rules like anyone but last or anything like that? Or is it just you can attack anyone even if they're in last place? Interesting. I couldn't enjoy a game like that. Like, it's not. Like it's too simple for me. Like, not simple, but without specific rules.
Yes, sir.
It's too random, chaotic, and as someone who's extremely competitive, it's like, nah. Because if everybody can just gang up on you at the start, it's like, nah. I always have to play with at least anyone but last to make it more fun, so that everybody gets to play a fair share to play, if that makes sense. As a spectator, though, a free-for-all can be extremely entertaining, seeing people get ganged up on and stuff. It's fun when it's not happening to you. It's like when you see people fighting in the street and you're at the safety of your own house, like 4 flights above, and you're looking down at them, trying to give them advice. Punch them in the face, kick them in the nuts. It's all fun and games when it's not you. Right, so is he going for the mine here? Looks like he's going for the mine just a little bit too much there. Nice try though.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the ABL rule is very important for like bigger matches, I think. Even free players and above, you know. Like, the funny thing is, like, I used to join a lot of random games with like, and I don't mean this in a insulting way, but I like to play with noobs quite a lot, because then you can show them what's possible in the game. But for some reason, when you've got a player that's really experienced like me, who can pixel perfect hit any part of the map with a grenade, like with my B and G skills, they automatically assume that I'm a cheater, and then they all gang up on me, and they all want to kill me just because I'm so much better at shooting weapons. So it's kind of like, eh. But nothing's more exciting when you play with new people and you get to show them new tricks and they're really curious about learning. I love that. They're like, oh, how did you do that? How did you do that? And you teach them how to do that. Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit disappointing, but sometimes comical, when you join a game like that and you do some really good moves and then they all just gang up on you or they all just quit because they don't think they can win. But it is what it is. Right. So yeah, Mablak is on match point here to take the third place in CWT. And it looks like he's comfortably ahead in this round. The grand final should be really good. Tade versus Rafka. Tade is a very strategic player as well. And Tade does like to focus on the fundamentals a lot as well, so that's going to be an interesting matchup. Not the easiest kill here.
Just wait, Buster.
Right, so he goes with a battle axe instead. Now Mablak has used all his worm select, so this worm is trapped. He's going to have to teleport out or block a worm or use an airstrike or something. It wouldn't surprise me to see him use a napalm here on Damien, or he could possibly block Agerman, or he could just free himself.
Hello.
I'm not too sure. I believe it's 50-50 with Tade and Rafka, to be honest. Tade is a previous world champion. Rafka is not. Tade is an extremely good player. His only disadvantage is that he doesn't play enough. So it takes him a while to get fully warmed up, but he is quite warmed up now after playing steadily over the last 2 to 3 months. It's going to be an interesting match. Statistically, you would think that Rafka will win if you take into account the ONL statistics as well. But Tade has played and beat a lot of the best players in CWT. It will be an interesting match. I feel like if Tade is in form, then it's going to be a really interesting game. I don't think it's going to be the most exciting game in terms of creative turns and aggressive play, because they're both players who really like to focus on the fundamental aspects of the game. The strategy, using shotgun a lot, using like blocks and stuff a lot, so you're not going to see any incredibly sort of out there turns. But it will be a great match if you understand the scheme enough. How do CWT participants practice intermediate? In any way possible, really. They play funners, they play ONL, they play TUS. They can play funners, you know. Oh, did Rafka actually win? I forgot about that. My bad, I apologise. I completely forgot that Rafka won in 2019. So yeah, they both have won CWT once each. So for one of them, they're going to get a second time victory. I completely forgot that Rafka won there. That's bad on my behalf. I apologise. So a funner is basically a casual game. Like a friendly, you know? If you think of it as a friendly match. You know, if two football teams play each other in a match where it's not recorded towards official statistics. It's called a friendly. We call it a funner, basically. So yeah, you've got the TUS League, and Intermediate uses the same scheme as they use in ONL, and CWT uses the ONL scheme as well. But for all intents and purposes, ONL is probably the best training ground for CWT.
Vasco. Ow! Hop. Heln. I'm dead meat. Yes, sir.
But yeah, it's a shame for Mablak. Mablak is a 4-time CWT World Champion. He was hoping to pick up his 5th this year, but Rafka beat him in the semi-final there. So if you were to look at the GOAT of Intermediate, the greatest of all time, is Chuvash. He's a 7-time winner, I believe. Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he's a 7-time champion and a 1-time runner-up and 1-time bronze winner. So he's a very, very, very good player, Chuvash. Out of Chuvash and Mablak are considered the 2 best, with Dario being the 3rd probably, statistically speaking. Both times that Mablak and Chuvash have met in CWT, Chuvash has won. Including the very, very famous grand final that they played, what year was it? In 2016, where Mablak was ahead 3-0, and then he ended up losing 4-3, where Chuvash got a reverse sweep. Not so dissimilar to the reverse sweep that we had the other day with Mablak versus Rafka, actually. Mablak was ahead 2-0. He really should have won that 3rd match, but he made a mistake that he normally wouldn't make, a strategic mistake. He missed a petrol bomb shot where he could have got a really easy airstrike kill, and then that, instead of being a 2-1 situation, it was a 2-2, and then Rafka managed to get that win and come back and win the semi-final. So yeah, Rafka's in the final versus Tade. Right, I need to just check what he used there, because he used another rope. So Abegod only has 1 rope left. I need to update this because they have both used a lot more. Yeah, that's about right. He is doing well, Abegod. Abegod can actually win this round. He's blocked right. Mablak doesn't have worm selects. So Abegod is catching up on pace a lot here. And Abegod still has a worm select left, I'm sure. He has 2 worm selects left. Yeah, Chuvash is an absolute monster. Dario doesn't really play anymore. The last event where Chuvash and Mablak both played, it was actually 2021, I think, where Mablak and Chuvash played. Dario was going to compete as well, but then he got a job and he moved from Argentina to France, and so his life sort of took over and he couldn't compete anymore. So that was going to be the one time where we seen all 3 top players compete in the same tournament. It was such an exciting time to be in CWT, but unfortunately that didn't happen the way we hoped. So Abegod blocking B-Gunk again. Yeah, Chuvash is an absolute beast. And the reason why Chuvash hasn't participated in the last couple of years is due to his job. He is a network engineer. He works on ships, and he's away for like 2 or 3 months at a time, he said. So unfortunately, he just doesn't have the time to compete in CWT at the moment. But yeah, Chuvash is... He's like... Chuvash is like the Magnus Carlsen of... intermediate.
Yes, sir.
He's just strategically insane. And I remember playing with Chuvash when he was a noob. Not at intermediate, but at elite on TUS. Back when the Elite League, TEL, was a thing. Oh, that was over a decade ago though. That was round about 2011, 2012, something like that. Good times. This is a very interesting round, strategically speaking. Abegod is clearly thinking ahead. Instead of using Eager Man to hit Shart Attack, which would then mean both these worms are available, he decided to block that worm again so that on the next turn Freedom Fighter could move, which I believe is a good idea. Whether that'll work, we've yet to see, because when you look at intermediate, we talk about pace quite a lot, and if you're unsure what pace means, it's how many turns it takes for you to kill the enemy team. So without any of the big weapons, which are dynamite, cows, sheep, stuff like that can do more than 50 damage, the most you can do is 50 damage without fall damage, and that's with a shotgun, 2 shots of 25. So you can say that it'll take 2 turns to kill Shart Attack and 2 turns to kill this worm, but 1 to kill Eager Man and 2 to kill Freedom Fighter. So they are quite similar on pace right now, but Mablak does kind of have the advantage here, especially with that worm being blocked in as well. So yeah, Mablak does still have the pace in this match, and it's going to be a problem for Abegod. I mean, Abegod has done well to keep Mablak at bay, and it looks like he's hoping to take it towards sudden death and hopefully have a chance at getting both worms in 1 turn with a shotgun. But he's going to struggle now because Abegod does not have any more girders to block off that worm. And looking at the sudden death timer, we're very, very close to sudden death. And when sudden death happens, all worms are reduced to 1 HP and the water starts rising slowly. So I feel like Abegod is hoping that he can get a sudden death turn. Yeah, I mean, if I was Abegod right now, I would stand over here probably, and probably try and shoot a petrol over here. To keep Mablak from getting out. And I would do it fast.
Oof. Hop. Hop.
So it looks like he might try and go here, put a petrol bomb here, and maybe hide underneath. I'm guessing that's what he's going to do with like a petrol bomb. If it doesn't... Oh, mad cows. Definitely not the right move to use. So yeah, Mablak wins the match. He is third place in CWT.
What are you, nuts? See ya.
So yeah, so Mablak will win himself a Worms the board game. Yeah, well done, Mablak, getting third place there.